Welcome to the Kindness Effect, where small moments open hearts and change lives, starting with ours. Now, your host, Jim Ellis.
Hello, and welcome back to the Kindness Effect. I'm Jim Ellis. Today is a topic near and dear to my heart, and I can't wait to share my stories with you. Today's episode is called The Healing Power of Belonging. Have you ever walked into a room and wondered, will I fit in here? It's a question we all ask, whether we're 7 years old or 70. Will someone notice me? Will I be accepted? Will I be welcomed, just as I am? The truth is, every one of us has a deep need to belong, not because we all need to be the same, but because we all need to know that we matter. Over the years, I've had the privilege of directing theater productions. People often think theater is about memorizing lines and building sets or putting on a great show. Yeah, those things matter, but I've learned something even more important. The greatest production isn't what happens on stage. It's what happens in people's hearts. I've watched children who were too shy to introduce themselves become confident enough to sing in front of hundreds of people. I've seen adults who thought they had nothing left to offer discover talents they never knew they had. And I've watched people from completely different backgrounds become lifelong friends. People of different ages, different abilities, different beliefs, different life experiences, all standing side by side with a common purpose. In our theater family, everyone is welcome. It doesn't matter where you've come from. It doesn't matter what you believe. It doesn't matter whether you've been on stage 100 times or you've never stepped into a theater before. If you're willing to encourage others, work together, and treat people with kindness, you belong. And that's a beautiful thing. I've often said that theater gives people a place to perform, but I think it gives them something even greater. It gives them a place to belong. And belonging has incredible healing power. When people feel accepted, they begin to believe in themselves. And when they feel safe, they become brave enough to try something new. And when they're encouraged, they begin encouraging others. It's almost like kindness is contagious. One person smiles, another person smiles back, someone offers help, someone else decides to do the same, and before long, you've created something much bigger than a play. You've built a community. And here's the wonderful news. You don't have to be in a theater to create that kind of community. You can create it in your own classroom, on your team, at your church, at work, in your neighborhood, or even around your own dinner table. Belonging doesn't happen because everyone agrees. Belonging happens because everyone is treated with dignity and respect. Imagine how different our communities would be if every person who walked through the door heard these words. We're glad you're here. 4 simple words, but they have the power to change a life. Because sometimes the greatest gift we can give another person isn't advice. It isn't money. It isn't even solving their problems. Sometimes the greatest gift is simply helping someone feel like they belong. Let's check out this week's Kindness Gradebook, and let's see how we're doing when someone new joins our group. F. Building walls. You ignore them, you leave them out, you make them feel like an outsider. A D. Waiting for someone else to do it. You notice they're alone, but you assume someone else will welcome them. A C. Being friendly. You smile, you say hello, and that's a wonderful start. A B. Make room for them. You invite them to sit with you. You learn their name, you ask about them. You make space for someone who may be feeling nervous. A. Helping someone belong. You introduce them to others, you include them in conversations, you make sure they know they're wanted. A+. Building a community. You don't just welcome one person. You help create a culture where everyone feels safe, respected, and valued. A place where kindness becomes the expectation, not the exception. Here's this week's kindness challenge. This week, look for someone who may be standing on the outside. Maybe they're new. Maybe they're quiet. Maybe they simply seem alone. Introduce yourself. Invite them to join you and learn their name. Listen to their story. You don't have to become best friends overnight. Sometimes all it takes is one conversation, one invitation, one act of kindness to help someone realize they belong. And you may never fully know how much that meant to them. Here's a couple questions to walk away with today. Who helped you feel like you belonged? And who can you help feel that way today? Thanks for spending a few minutes with me today. As a theater director, I've watched countless people discover confidence, friendship, and hope, not because they landed the leading role, but because they found a place where they were welcomed, encouraged, and valued. That's the kind of community I hope we continue to build, both on the stage and off. Because when people know they belong, amazing things happen. Until next time, remember this: kindness isn't just about being nice. Sometimes it's about opening the door wide enough for someone else to walk in and know they're welcome. I'm Jim Ellis, and this has been The Kindness Effect.